What's up, everybody? Welcome to the show. Tonight we have a good night scheduled for us. We have Eddie from Atomic Cycle Works, who's going to be here. He's in backstage right now. But we're all going to be talking about seats and keeping your backside comfortable on all those rides that we take, whether it's a short trip around the corner or around the block. So Eddie, you have a problem with your camera, looks like. Can you hear me? Nope, his device is not connected. So we'll wait on Eddie to get in here. Let's see, try it again. Eddie, can you hear me? Oh, nope. Your device keeps disconnecting. Eddie, I don't know what browser you're using. If you could try and use Google Chrome, that usually works the best with StreamYard. So yeah, Eddie's here. He's got a shop here in Connecticut. It's called Atomic Cycle Works or Atomic Works. They do custom builds. They do custom interiors. They do custom seats and everything like that. I have little to no experience with their seats. My brother Mike and his wife Hannah have their seats on their bikes. What little experience I have is road testing their bikes when I'm done working on them and taking them on and off the lift. But this is a local business to me, and I think it's awesome. So we're waiting on Eddie to get things figured out here. Let's say hello to Bry the Biker, Tiger Ward, Dean, Gliding on Twos. DDK's in the house. Evil Rick, the lovely Mel Chop. Dallas is here. Let's see. Miss Iron Butterfly. Hannah Jarowitz is here. Mike Jarowitz is here. Robert Bacuccio is here. XAN is here. Hello. Welcome. Let's see. Who else I got in here? Rody Riders is here. Hello, Rody. Let's see. Did I miss anybody? We have Jammin and Shadow from the Unaffiliated. Eddie, how's that? Is that any better? I guess not. It keeps getting disconnected. Oh, he's having all sorts of audio video issues tonight with cameras. Let's see. No, I guess he's having all sorts of issues. Eddie, can you hear me?
Now, hold on.
Wow.
Oh my.
Is your mic too close? Hey, what's up, Jake? And Dave's here. Hello, Dave. How you doing? So yeah, I was on the Unaffiliated earlier. We're waiting for Eddie to get things worked out. Here we go. I think we got it this time. Hey, Eddie, how you doing?
Good, a little bit. I can work on bikes, but not cars.
What's going on with your audio? Your speaker's too close to your mic?
I don't think so. Let me turn these down. Is that any better?
Yeah, it seems it. How you doing, man? Thanks for joining us from Atomic Cycles. This is Eddie. Everybody say, hi, Eddie. If you get a chance, on the top of the chat, everybody, I put a poll in about seats. You know, do you need one? Do you really need one? Or are you all set? Jake, Tri-Glide. Here we go. Slung your suspension. Cut a front axle. Okay. So that was for Jake. All right. So Mike says, how you doing, man?
Hey, my good. How you doing?
A lot of reverb going on in your end.
Oh, what's going on with this? If I turn the speakers on, I can't hear you. Oh, let me put earphones on. Maybe that'll help.
That might help. But hey, Mrs. Campfire's here. Chasing Ghosts is here. Hello. Yeah, so Eddie, you're in Middletown, Connecticut. Is that correct?
Let's see. Is that any better? Not really.
A lot of reverb and feedback.
I wonder what's actually going on. Hold on, let me turn this down. Settings, audio. That's right.
Oh boy. How about now? Is that better? Oh, not any good. Got a lot of questions coming in here for you.
Yeah, a lot of questions, and I can't talk to you. It's embarrassing.
Well, when you're talking, it's fine. So we have one question here. Can you do a seat for a V-Star?
Yes, we do them all the time.
So there you go. You could get your seat done. Now they would ship you the seat, tell you what they want, or because XAN is not in Connecticut, it's quite a ways from you.
I can't hear. I'm trying to get this earphone thing on. Let's see if that works.
How's that? Is that better? Can you hear me?
Here's microphone.
Can you hear me? Any better?
Okay. Can you hear me now?
I can hear you fine. Can you hear me?
I can hear you. Perfect.
Okay.
Sorry.
We got a question here from one of my subscribers who's been with me for a while. Do you have a seat for a 23 Tri-Glide with the backrest?
Not with the backrest. We actually we can modify the factory seats, but when it comes to the actual aftermarket replacement, we don't have one.
Okay.
Or we can make them custom if they're local.
Gotcha. And when they make them custom, they have to bring you the bike, or they could ship you the seat and you could redo it.
Exactly.
Now, do you use like memory foam or gel, or the foam injected with gel?
The actually memory foam we don't use because actually I got this wicked echo. Okay. The memory foam actually will dry out and crack. So it's good for like one riding season. It's really good, but then it'll turn hard and brittle and you got to replace it. So we have a bunch of really nice high grade foams that we use that feel better, last longer, and they're better than memory foam, better than gel. We do use gel if you can't modify the shape of your seat, but you need, or you have butt burning or cheek burning or sore cheekbones. That's the only time we use gel.
Gotcha. But if somebody requested like a gel, you would do it?
Yeah, we do it. Yep.
Okay. Because I'm a big fan of gel seats personally.
Yep.
Because on the long rides, they seem to be a lot more comfortable than anything I've ever been ridden on.
Yep. Yeah, some people really love them. If you could modify the seat foam to fit your butt better, you'll actually have a better ride and comfort than the actual gel. But sometimes the gel really helps with your butt cheeks on really long rides.
Yep. So now I have a let's start from the beginning, okay? Because I'm like not really lost, but a little off my game right now.
Me too.
Atomicautowors. You guys are in Middletown, Connecticut, correct?
Middlefield, right next to Middletown.
Okay, Middlefield, Connecticut. You've been in business how long?
20, 30, 40, 32 years.
Wow, 32 years of doing custom motorcycle seats, interiors. You do custom builds as well, correct?
We do. Limited, but we do.
Okay. Builds of motorcycles or cars or both, or just one or the other?
No, so we have like a really weird business. We do a lot of wholesale work for other shops. So like in motorcycles, we try not to tear them apart and do mechanical work or fab work. We do some fab work for shops that don't do it, but mainly we do body paint and custom seats. And then cars, we do build cars from scratch, whatever people need.
Okay, because I'm building a custom chopper right now to benefit Homes for the Brave. I don't know if you've heard of them. They're in Bridgeport.
Yep.
And I'm trying to build this whole chopper out of donations.
Yep. And
I'm going to give it to them, and they're going to raffle it off. And I'm going to need, I got a roller, and I got the Springer front end for it and everything. And that's basically it. But I'm going to need a custom seat made, seat pan. It's a rigid, so there's nothing really special. I was thinking of doing like a king queen seat on that.
Yep.
I'm sure that's something you guys could do.
Definitely. Yep.
Okay. So when I'm ready, I will bring you the bike.
Yep.
And I'll leave it with you. So say I need the seat done, and you guys will make it happen.
Yep. We'll definitely make it for you.
Nice. Hello, Wind Road. Hello, Road Reality. Welcome to the show. So now, when someone sends you a seat and they tell you what they want, do you guys just cut and shave them, or do you strip all the foam out, put your own foam in it?
So we do anything and everything for bike seats. If people send us a seat, we could make a foam it, wrap it, do whatever they want. If they need a custom seat pan made, we make that. We do have direct fit replacement seats for Harleys right now. We haven't really had time to get into Yamahas and Suzukis and all that. It's pretty much all Harley. And if the bikes are local, we can make them from scratch as well.
Right. So if somebody has something that you don't have, like a aftermarket pan for, they could just send you this seat and say, hey, I want this foam. And as far as material, like I know my brother Mike is doing alligator.
Yes, yeah, he switched it up this time.
On his seat for his Road Glide ST.
Yep.
Which is pretty awesome. You're redoing one of your seats for him.
Yes. Yeah, he actually, Mike, I think we did it like 4 years ago. It's been a while. And he's always on our social media saying nice stuff. He's a really good guy. And he just wants to switch it up. I liked how it looked before, but he wants the gator. He wants a little spiff, like boom,
Well, when you did that seat first was for his orange street glide.
Yep.
That I built that bike.
Oh, really? Cool.
That's how Mike and I met. And when he bought the 23 ST, he just transferred the seat over and, gave them the Mustang seat that I sold it with him to when he sold the bike. So Big Mike 135, highly recommend. Yeah, there he is. He changed his name. It threw me off. So now he's going, different bike, different look, and he wanted to change it up. And, it's also a good time to refresh the seat. How long would you say someone should refresh their seats?
Just when you need it. I mean, we do. I literally, it's kind of funny because I had a guy come in that I did a seat for him, I want to say 25 years ago. And it's kind of funny because we offer a lifetime warranty on all our seats. So he brought it in. He's like, loved how it held up, and he's had it all these years, but he wanted to upgrade it. Like, I think we had like Stingray on it, and it's just kind of dated. And so we warranted it for him. And I told him, there's no charge. And he's like, there's no way. I have this seat for 25 years. That's just a lifetime warranty as long as I'm alive. And here we are.
Nice. Now, PA Biker, who's in Pennsylvania, outside of Carlisle, says, can you make a seat to bring me more to the ground? In other words, lower it down.
Yes, that's one of our most common things. That's one of the reasons why with the FLHs, we actually started making our own seat pan and foam and everything ready to roll, because everybody that comes in wants to sit lower. They want to sit farther back. There's too much ball pressure up front. So we just did the same thing over and over again. So that's why we have a production seat for the FLHs, but we could do it for any bike, and they send us seats all the time.
Nice. Henry wants to know, hello, Henry. Do you have any metal flake vinyl?
I have lots and lots of metal flake vinyl. We only use the Zodiac heavy flake that matches the House of Color paint because it's a better gray vinyl, but we stock red, green, blue, the pink, the purple, white, black. So we usually have everything here.
The black, I have no idea. Do it black box on your phone? I have no idea. So, yeah. Hannah says she needs a lower seat. And she's got a pretty sweet seat already. But usually to lower seat, do you thin out the sides of the seat?
Yeah, so everybody's different, but you take most commonly an FLH, you have to sit lower, you have to narrow the sides of it because your inner legs are pushed so far apart because that frame rides up and it's kind of weird. But we lower them, we shave the sides of them. It's like pretty much our most common thing is lowering them, shaving the sides of them. A lot of people use the factory cover if you go over an inch modification of foam, you have to do a new seat cover, which we do every day.
Yep. So Windroad Therapy wants to know, what's your company name?
So the company is Atomicautowors, but we have our Atomic Cycle Works and Atomic Truck Works, just because if I'm in a motorcycle mode, I don't want to see a car guy on there. I want to see motorcycle stuff. So if you go to Atomic Cycle Works, you can see all our motorcycle content and avoid the car and truck stuff.
Yep. And I have links to all his social media for Atomic Cycle Works, their Instagram, their YouTube, and their, I believe it's Facebook, down in the description of this this live. So if you want to check it out afterwards, feel free. I'm sure he would appreciate the likes and the views, and you know, he's got some good videos. I've been binge watching some of your videos over the week.
Thanks.
2 weeks we've actually been talking. There's some good stuff. I mean, you've had your YouTube channel for a year.
Yeah, I think it's 2 or 3 years now, but we're active for about 2 years.
Okay. Because the videos I saw only went back a year. I couldn't see it.
Oh, yeah, because you were on Cycle Works. The Atomic Auto Works one goes back like 3 years.
Okay. There you go. There's a good. Do you have a website to view the options or call to order?
Yeah, so you can go to atomicautowors.com, and we have there's prices on some of our production seats, but we also have a motorcycle seat questionnaire you could click on at the top of the page. And if you go through and take the time, you could fill out, height, weight, riding style, upload pictures of you on your bike or pictures of bikes or seats that you like, and then we could actually build you a custom seat exactly the way you want it.
Here's another good question. Can you work off of pictures? So if someone took pictures, you could, make them a seat off of pictures.
Yep. We work off pictures. We have guys that come in with crayons that look like they might be a little brain dead, and we still make the seats off them.
They must have been Marines. I can make that joke. I'm a retired Army guy. Rhodey's probably pulling his hair out right now. What does that mean, Marines? He's a Marine. Tiger says this seat's good. He just needs longer legs.
There you go.
Okay. Hannah says she wants you to help her lower the seat so I don't have to be a member of the Tippy Toe Club.
Yeah.
Excellent job. That the seat on my 18 and to my 2023 bike.
Yeah, we could definitely lower it. And we could lower it to the point where it's hard, because if you get like under an inch, you really sacrifice comfort. So if you're going to ride the bike, you got to really know what you want. So sometimes we'll say get an inch seat, and then if that's not good enough, lower the bike, or actually go and get like Harley makes those boots that are actually decent looking, and they're like lift you up about 2 inches.
Hello, Tweedledee. Some of my subscribers and friends from Tennessee are in here.
Nice.
And West Virginia. A little later, probably Kazemoto from Australia will turn in. We got people from Canada watching, so we're going international tonight.
Nice. We should
over the pond. So Atomic Cycles and Atomic Auto Works.
Yep.
You guys do some great work. I've seen it.
Thanks.
I want to bring you, not this winter, but next winter, I'm going to bring you my CVO. I want to do a custom seat with some green stitching to match my backrest pad that I have.
Okay. Whatever you need.
Yeah. So that's definitely something you can do.
Cool.
Yeah, right on.
So now Mike said you guys are going to open up a shop together?
Yes, we're in the stages of looking to open up a motorcycle shop, full service, kind of like a white glove type touch to your motorcycle.
Nice.
To the point where if you bring your bike in to have it worked on, we're going to have a fast lane for tires and oil services. We're going to put a closed circuit TV system over every lift that leads into the customer waiting area, so you could see your bike being worked on instead of wondering what's going on, what's the status, what's all that. You could just sit there and look at the TV and see what's going on with your bike.
Cool. Yeah, it's a big demand, I think, for a professional bike shop that does stuff like that.
Yeah, and I don't want to be at the price of dealerships. and I don't want to be at the price of competitive dealerships, but I also want to be at the price where the shop is profitable.
Mm.
I don't want it to be, I'm not looking to make $1 million a year or whatever. But as long as the bills and salary gets paid and we make a little bit of a profit out of it, I'm happy with it, because
Nice.
I want people to sit there and say, hey, these guys aren't ripping us off. These guys are doing good work, good everything. Hello, Hells. He's joining us from West Virginia.
Nice.
He is the general sales manager, I think it is, at West Virginia Harley right now.
Nice. We just sent a couple seats down to West Virginia last week.
Nice. So, that might be a good contact for you to have because they're going to start building some performance baggers and things like that.
Nice.
So PA Biker says, if I send you my seat, what will you need, if anything?
So the more you give us, like I say, if you have the time, you go on our website, fill out the questionnaire. It gives every single thing we need to build you a seat exactly the way you want. If you don't go on the internet and do that stuff, you could call us or email us, and we could just answer it through questions. But we could do everything over the phone or whatever.
Oh, nice. So that's good stuff. For me, it's easy. I'll just take a ride up to you.
There you go.
Leave you the bike, let you do what you got to do, and then and what's the turnaround time on a seat?
Well, that's a dreaded question right now, because of the labor shortage and the fact that Connecticut doesn't have any skilled labor. We book everything out and schedule it. So what we tell people is we're usually about right now, I think we're 15 weeks out. So what we tell people is schedule us an appointment, and then when, like a week before, make sure we have the seat or seat pan or whatever you need, and then we'll knock it out, and then we ship it back to you. Just because if people drop stuff off, they're not going to see their bike for 15 weeks if they're ship us a seat or whatever, which usually works out. A lot of guys have duplicate seats, or they buy one of our aftermarket replacement seats, and then you're not down.
15 weeks. Wow, that's
7 days a week.
That's for a business owner. That's a good problem to have.
It's not. It's horrible.
But as
when we started years ago, everybody got. Oh, go ahead. Sorry.
That's it. But as a consumer, that's a horrible problem. 15 weeks.
It's horrible.
I mean, up in the Northeast, that's most of the riding season for most people.
That's why we push so much right now to get the seats in now, because people don't realize that they wait until March, and we're going to be 15 weeks in March. So it's like if you get it now, you have your bike in the riding season, everything's easy. You could come in, we could talk about it, and it's fun. When you come in April, May, and June, it's not fun.
Right. Well, hey, Route 32 riding gears here, all the way from New Hope, Pennsylvania.
Nice.
Windroad Therapy, she's down in Florida right now. Kelp Fire, she's in Virginia with Fackline. And she just got a new bike to her too, which is a beautiful Laguna Orange Road King. And we're all excited for her on that. So yeah, because to me, if I'm going to bring you my bike for a seat, I'm going to want that done before Daytona Bike Week, which is the 1st of March.
Yep.
But you're saying get you the bike in October.
Yeah, literally right now. And we pull strings once in a while, but I like to schedule things out and not be like just crazy, which it is crazy always.
Okay. Here, a question from Middle Tennessee. Mr. Dallas, I need a solo seat for my road glide and a backrest. Do you finance? And my wife has a bike also. Do you do
depending on the year
like
of the road glide, we have direct fit seats that we could make for it. We can do it with the backrest for that. And then we don't do financing here, but if you order it through our website, we have a firm, so they split up the payments.
That was my next question. Do you use things like a firm?
Yep.
Okay. That's awesome, because I've used a firm for a lot of things, especially for my little shop in the garage. Someone wants to order a lot of parts, like stage 2s. It's about $2,500 to $3,000, depending on what they need. And, I'll use it on a firm. And then if I do it with the 3 months, there's no interest. So I do the 3 months, they pay me, and they take their bike, and I pay off a firm.
It's kind of amazing how cheap a firm is. Like, I don't know where they make their money, but
well, they count on people stretching out over a 12-month period.
No, not paying.
Yeah. So what's the average cost for a seat?
So it's all over the board. Like using, say, a Street Glide. If you're taking one of our direct replacement seats, they're probably 400 to 700 on average. If you want a touring seat, they're more. If you want leather, they're more. If you want exotics or custom stitching, it gets up there. It's not really a huge expense.
Right. So Dallas says he's got a 2020. His wife Penny has a 2023 Road Glide. What the 2020 is a special.
Yep.
The 2023 is a standard. So, I mean, it doesn't matter at that point. It's still the same seat,
They're all
same
same
frame.
seat on those.
Yeah, even with the CVOs or the STs, it's the same frame, same seat. That doesn't matter.
Yeah, we have solos and 2-ups for those.
Nice. Now, like the CVO has a 2-piece seat, or is that something you guys are doing as well?
Yeah, we do 2-piece or the single double seat.
Yep. Now, Jake from H2 Performance from sunny Florida wants to know, is it baggers only or Softail and Dynas too?
We do a lot of Softails and a lot of Dynas are like one of my favorite bikes, so we do a lot of them. I do have seat pans for certain Dynas, Sportsters, and Softails. It depends on the year, but you could always send us your seat. We can modify it and do whatever you want to it.
Yep. So it doesn't matter what it is, as long as they send the seat, they tell you what they want, you could do it.
Exactly. You can send your toilet seat and we'll wrap it for you.
Yeah. Now, on your website, do you have like picture samples of the different seat covers you can have?
Not yet. I mean, we have like a whole photo gallery of stuff there, and I actually have to update it because our old website had thousands of motorcycle seats, but when we switched over, I just haven't had time to enter all those photos in. So we just kind of have a blog style thing. And usually you could go to our social media, scan through our pictures and see like thousands of seats.
Right. So like snakeskin, alligator,
Yeah.
Like a faux elephant if you wanted to, things like that.
Yeah, so all that
ostrich,
stuff, like all the exotic stuff, we used to do a ton of. I have a lot here, but for the last, I don't even know, probably 6 years, nobody's been doing that. It's weird. Like we used to do so much elephant and mako shark and gator and croc and all that stuff, and now we do a lot more imitation stuff, leather, and then imitation leathers.
Yep. Oh, here's an excellent question. Have you ever designed a seat with a hidden stash compartment?
We've done some seats that I can't even talk about.
Well, there you have it.
When someone comes in and says, I need a 4,500 seat, the seat has to come off quick, and I use my seat.
Now, Bry has a question. Bry the biker from the lovely Garden State of New Jersey wants to know, do you have alpaca?
You know what's funny? No one's ever asked for alpaca. We probably have we've done gazelle, we've done everything possible. I don't think we've ever done alpaca.
Okay. Have a padded leather toilet seat. It says a padded leather toilet seat. Now there's an idea.
We've done
it. Thank you, Dallas. I appreciate it. It says this is a good live stream. Assuming that I guess all my other live streams weren't good.
That's always nice, right? We do make seats, we run pockets, we make holsters, we do a lot of hand tooled leather and stuff like that too.
Oh, excellent! So you could do hand tooled leather for the seat, and also if you wanted, that you could make holsters and belts and things like that.
Yep. Yeah, a lot of that we slowed down just because even though we're all American bikers and love our Harleys, everybody's buying Chinese stuff. So like they'll sell leather bib or something like that for like $3, and then people will say they want to buy American made. Next thing you know, you're driving around with your Chinese $3 bib on your bike. But we do it, it's just a lot higher quality, and it costs a lot of money to do the handcrafted stuff.
Yep. Let's see. I need the back of my 04 Custom big 4.4 gallon tank from the Frogzilla.
Back for my, maybe he means a bib.
Maybe.
Yeah. If he's local, we can make it, or they could send us templates and we could build something too.
Yeah. I mean, I'm sure bibs are really, easy for you guys to just knock right out.
Yeah.
Because basically, one center punched hole, stitching on the side, and whatever tooling they want, you could just punch that right
Yeah,
in.
then we put the felt on the backside so it doesn't scratch the tanker fenders and stuff.
Kelfire, do you have you done heated seats? And if
Yes, we do a lot of heated seats actually up here in New England.
do you add in the heated element?
Yep.
Awesome.
Yep.
Awesome. I have one heated seat. It's the ultra limited heated seat. I bought that back in 2014. And I just keep buying a different pigtail to upgrade with my bikes.
Yep.
So it works. But the problem I have is it's like 2 inches taller for me. So I'm literally ballerina tiptoeing it on that bike. And that's the seat my wife likes us to have when we go on long trips. While I'm riding, it's okay because it changes my whole center of gravity, puts me up higher on the bike. But when I have to come to a stop, I'm literally ballerina tiptoeing it.
We
And
could
that's
cut
why
them
I
down
wear
and still
sneakers and
reuse
not
that.
boots. What's that?
Yeah. We could cut it down and still reuse your heated element and all that stuff.
Oh, awesome.
We cut from
That's
underneath
something
it.
I might bring to you soon then. If I'll make the appointment and get it up to you and you could do your magic.
So aside from the heated seats, we do cooling seats and we also do the vibrators.
For the passenger.
Well, we do have this one story. This guy from Hartford came down and we put the vibrator in a specific shape in the back passenger seat, and he wanted to test it out before we wrapped it. And he came down and sat on it. So it was kind of a weird day in the shop. Everybody's like, what the heck's this guy doing?
Yeah. Let's see. My brother Hells goes, holy hell, Doc, send this guy to me. You know what? Hells, just reach out to him, man. You guys could talk. Maybe he could make some seats for West Virginia Harley. Maybe Hells is a big fan of Corbin seats. Yep. I'm not going to lie. I had a Corbin on one of my Jap bikes. I have a Saddleman on my Softail, which is Project Spaceball. I don't know if you've seen or any of my videos on that. It's a over 150 horse bike.
Is that the one you were doing the burnout in?
Yes.
I did see that. Yep.
Yeah, that's a very effortless burnout. Effortless, I'm telling you. Nice. That's got a Saddleman seat on it with their gel, and it's great for around town. Anything more than 60 miles, I can't wait to get off the damn thing because that seat's just too uncomfortable.
Yeah, so Corbin seats are great. Like some people, if it fits you, they're awesome. Mustang seats are great. If they fit you, they're awesome. We're kind of lucky because everybody that buys a Corbin seat should have bought a Mustang seat. So they bring their Corbin and we redo it. And then everybody that buys a Mustang seat should have bought a Corbin. So they bring the Mustang seat to us to modify it. So it works out good for us.
Yeah. Henry wants to know, what do you recommend for a base?
For a custom
talk about seat? A seat pan? Henry?
Yeah, so if it's a custom bike, we do a lot of fiberglass bases. It's the best bang for the buck. The steel takes a little bit longer. Carbon fiber is a waste. But we do them on the race bikes, and then aluminum's kind of a waste, and steel's just like heavy. So
now, can you do custom stitching? Like if I gave you my logo,
anything you
Dr.Harley,
yeah,
you could do all that.
Any color, any design, any style.
Now I feel blessed. The man, the myth, the legend, Mr. Professional Monkey is here. Hello, Professional Monkey, my good friend. It's good to see you. He's out of Southern Florida. He's a great dude. He's got a phenomenal channel. If you get a chance, you want to check it out. Check out his channel. He's got quite the following. I'm giving him a big head, but he's got a great channel. Let's see. Chasing Ghost says, I need a bib for my tank on my fat bob. It's 3.5 gallons. If it has a punch, even better. A pouch, even better.
Yeah, so we can make those, but you're better off just buying them from one of the online places because they're so inexpensive. If we make them, we use real hand tool leather and everything's handmade. So something that you could probably buy for $20 online, you're going to cost $400 or $500 from us for handmade.
So your stuff is like top quality, top notch, best of the best.
Yeah, the vinyls, the leathers, we really pay attention to what they are. We use a lot of, even though everything we do is American made, we do a lot of European hand tooled leather because they don't use barbed wire. The hides are better. They're 60 square feet versus our 50 square feet. So we try to use everything better.
Now, I know there's a big cost jump to go from the vinyl to a real leather or an
Yes.
Alcantara leather. Um,
Yep.
What's the price jump in that? Is that like $100 more, a couple $100 more?
Yeah, so
Maybe.
usually if you go black leather, we always usually stock it, so it might be like 100, $150 more. When you start getting into colors, distressed leathers, then it gets more because we have to buy half hides or full hides. So then it becomes like 300 to $600 on top of that.
Yep. Dallas, I believe, already answered this, embroidering custom logos. He said yes, he could do that. My wife says no vibrator.
Yes, we do
Calfire
vibrators.
goes, did I hear vibrator? Yes, we cover it all here to
Yeah.
include your vibrating seats. Let's see. If I ask really nice, I'll put a solid metal core in it. Yeah. Kelfire, she's awesome. Miss Iron Butterfly, our Southern Belle. And Mr. Reality. Thank goodness I pressed enter. And it was, here it comes the banner hammer. Kelfire. Oh, the side chat could get really funny. Oh, there you go. Someone needs to get a get off my bike stitched into their seat.
Amen. We've had so many show bikes that we've done, and people like they park somewhere and people get on them and they knock them over. I'm amazed at how stupid people are.
Oh, that doesn't end well for them. I'm sorry.
No.
Now, there's a recommendation to Iron Butterfly. She might be able to get an embroiderer to a blue butterfly into her seat. And I'm sure you guys could do that very easily. Oh, she says she can't find any online. So, which would be the bed with the pouch. So, Tara, if you get a chance, send them an email describing exactly what you want. I'm sure Eddie would be more than happy to give you a price of what it would cost, and you could go from there with Eddie. Definitely. How's that sound? Oh, here's one. How about denim? Do you have denim?
Yes, it's actually it's funny. He asked that. We one of our really good customers came in and he brought like a denim trench coat and wanted us to wrap his seat in it years ago. And we just did like 5 more seats for him. But I was like, why are you so attached to this denim trench coat? And he was like, I go, what's this, the first coat you were wearing when you were first intimate with your first girlfriend? And he's like, well, actually, yeah. But now we just did like, I think 4 more seats for him this year.
So you can't do denim?
Without a doubt, yeah.
Now, Jake wants to know, he's got a solo seat that came on his lowrider S, and he wants to go 2-up. Can you modify the stock base, or do I need a whole new 2-up? I would say.
Yeah, so we could take the 2-piece and turn it into a 2-up, if that's what he's asking.
No, he's got a 1-up seat, a solo seat, and he wants to make a 2-up seat out of it.
So it's cheaper to just get a new pan and do it than try to modify that pan to fit. Those are probably plastic, and the plastic's kind of garbage.
Yeah, he can do that for you. Not a problem. You can make you a seat and put your logo on it. It says, get off my bike, stitched into it. Not a problem. Mm-hmm. Again, send him an email, and he'll send you all the pricing and everything you need. Trying to get caught up here in the side chat. So, there we go. Henry says, you betcha I'm Canadian. Yep. People here in Canada.
We do a lot of shipping to Canada.
Nice.
My grandfather was from Quebec.
Oh, no kidding. That's awesome. That's awesome. So, what is the biggest complaint most riders have to you about their seat?
You would be, it's so many different things every day. The most common is always street glides, road glides, FLH. They're too much pressure up front. They're squished in the seat. They need to go down. They need to have it narrowed. We also do a lot of extremely tall guy seats where we'll take a seat and move them back 8 inches. So you're almost like on the rear fender. Wow. We have guys that are 6'7", 6'8" with huge tall legs. That's really common. The everyday stuff is butt burning, sore cheekbones, uh, yeah, just tippy toes. It's the common stuff.
Yep. That's my complaint is the burning on the tailbone, and then the butt cheeks after a while get real sore. I'm always doing the seat yoga and shifting my weight, and which isn't really comfortable on long rides, but you just suffer through it and keep riding because you're right.
It cracks me up because Harley in the early 80s, like on their old Road Kings even, and before that, they used to have tailbone relief cuts out of all their seats, and then they stopped. And so now all their seats, everybody has these pain for a tailbone, but they were actually ahead of the curve 30 years ago.
Yep. Right. Let's see. My seat pushed me back. It's night and day. Yep. He's actually ridden on his seat from these gentlemen from Connecticut to Daytona a couple times with on the way down to Daytona. Once he made a stop off in Tennessee and rode around there with Tweedle and had a great time. Let's see. Route 32 says, my butt falls asleep, which isn't bad itself, but the snoring is embarrassing. Stay off Taco Bell if you want to get rid of that snoring. If you go around the stocking, but not good for any further. Yep. The stock seats are garbage.
Yeah, the new foam is horrible.
It said, Henry says, you sound like you embrace the challenge of new designs.
I do like doing cool stuff and new stuff.
Yeah, I had a seat done one year down in Myrtle Beach during Bike Week, and I did the alligator in the center. It was on the stock pan, and he talked me into doing memory foam, which was the worst thing I can ever do, because after about 25 minutes to a half hour, it was like sitting on concrete.
Yeah, it's horrible.
The worst thing I could ever do.
There's a guy in North Carolina that does a lot of memory foam seats, and we placed the memory foam in like so many of his seats. I love it. I hope he keeps doing it because it's just guaranteed work.
It's probably the same guy that did my seat in Myrtle Beach.
Yeah, I think he's a good dude. It's just the memory foam's great for a minute, and that's it.
Yeah, and once the memory foam is cold, it's like concrete.
Crap. It's made for your bedroom, not your bike.
Right. Well, I had a memory foam mattress, and it wasn't good. I got rid of it.
Yeah, I'm never a big fan either. I was a big gel fan forever, and then we started doing some design work for Mustang Seats, and Al was big on sculpting the seat versus foam, and he was actually right about a lot of that, because if you have the ability to sculpt the seat to your butt and use the right foam, it works better. But it's just a lot of people don't want to modify their seat, so the gel works really good because you could just put it in there and it gets rid of the butt burning and the cheekbone vibration, all that stuff.
Nice, because that's what I'm looking for. My wife, of course, the seats on the back seats on all Harleys are not really wide enough unless you're on like the Ultra Limiteds and the Ultra Classics, and she complains that they're not wide enough. She hates riding on the Lowrider S because it's a small back.
It's like 7-8 inches, yeah.
It's more like 6 inches on width.
Yeah.
Yep. All right, you're headed out. Take care, Dom. Good to see you. Good night, man. Thanks for stopping in. That's Route 32 riding gear out of New Hope, Pennsylvania. I actually went to a store on my way down to New Jersey last year. We took a detour. Sat there and visited with Don for a little while. It was a good time.
Nice.
Yeah. And wow, we've already been going 44 minutes.
Wow.
Time's just flying by tonight.
Yeah, it's probably 30 minutes of me messing with the audio.
That's all right. We worked through it.
Have you been down to the Touratech place yet? Is that down by you?
Place?
Touratech?
No.
So we did a podcast with them, and they did they're huge in Germany. I mean, like their Germany location is like a giant Walmart for bikers if you're into like the adventure touring type stuff. But they do a lot of hats, helmets, and all that stuff, and they're somewhere down by you.
I've never heard of them.
Yeah, they're huge. They're actually just they're huge in Germany, but they have a location in California or Washington State, I think, and then one in Connecticut now.
I'm gonna have to look them up. I'm not a big adventure bike guy.
The guy that we had on, Steve, is a really good dude. He was in like an editor for not Hot Bike, I think it was Easy Rider or something like that. One of the ones that used to be in Connecticut. Real good guy.
Mhm. Nice. Yeah, I've had cousins that I wish I could remember which year and what volume. I had cousins that had their chopper on the cover of Easy Rider.
Nice. I miss the
Yep.
magazine days, man. Better times.
Yeah. Well, there are some magazines out there that are still doing printed magazines on a subscription base, which is always nice to have,
Yeah.
I know Cycle Source is still doing one, and I forget the name of the company. I met them in Milwaukee when I went out for the 120th this year, which was a great trip. I have his card at my office. I wish I could remember which magazine it was. Wow, I just can't remember him. Sometimer's disease. Sometimes I remember, sometimes I don't. It's going to hit me about 3:00 in the morning, wake me up from a dead sleep, and I won't be able to go back to sleep. That's what I do.
Yeah, I'm right there too.
Yep. Check out the Instagram page, guys. It's right there. It's full of good stuff, good pictures, good videos.
I don't really spend a lot of time on our Instagram. I probably should spend more time on it. We just have so much better luck with YouTube, TikTok, and Facebook.
Oh, Henry's going to hit the sack too. Good night, Henry. Great to have you as a new contact. When I'm ready, you'll be his first call. Awesome. Glad to hear that. So, your background, were you born into doing interiors and interior design for automotive?
No, so it's kind of funny. My father was really into cars and motorcycles when I was a kid, but it always took him away from us. So I would hate it. So I thought I was going to be a professional skateboarder when I was a kid. And then now I miss the drag races. I miss riding on his chopper and all that stuff. And I don't know. I totaled my mother's car and felt really bad. So I started learning how to fix cars, and bikes were always my thing. So then we just started painting bikes, painting cars, doing all that. And I don't know. It's kind of weird because when we started 20 or 30 years ago, I couldn't get into the business because I was young. So we started going around to all the bike shops and car shops and saying, we'll do all the crap work that you don't want to do. So if you don't like fiberglass work, I'll do it for you. If you don't like wet sanding, buff, and paint, we'll do it. And we started doing that. And then I always wanted to do interiors and upholstery. So I don't know if you remember Tommy Ingalls from Highway Service back in the day. Mm-hmm. He was really well known, building some really cool bikes. And Tommy was a great friend of mine. And it was kind of funny because he was having me do all his car interiors, and he was having Kenny up at Redan Upholstery in Newington do his motorcycle seats. And I sucked at car interiors, and I love motorcycle seats. And finally, he gave me a chance to do it. And the first bike we did, Roger Bourget saw it and told Tommy he was going to steal the idea from the seat. And then after that, we just started killing it. And then Johnny Moore from Fat City Cycles was a good friend of mine, and we started doing tons and tons of bike. And then Steve, who used to own Four Horsemen, we were doing 20 and 30 motorcycles a week with him. It was crazy. It was just crazy how it was.
Not a bad problem to have.
No.
And I'm sure you work with Bad Cycles there in Bristol.
I did work with them, I think, once, like 20 years ago. But what's hard about the bike business is sometimes people think because you do business with other shops, like you're best friends with them, so they get scared of doing work with you. And meanwhile, it's just a business. It's like, we work with everybody. So I think he was friends with somebody else. I thought he was a good dude, but we never really did a lot of stuff together.
What about Long Rider Pete? Used to have his shop in Bridgeport called Long Riders.
And
he used to do a lot of custom chopper.
Like 20 years ago, maybe?
20, maybe 30 years ago.
Yeah, that name sounds really familiar.
Yep, because he's friends of mine. He's a friend of mine. He actually built my cousin's chopper for them.
Nice.
So it's good stuff.
Yeah, there was a lot of chopper shops back in the day that popped up, especially when the Jesse James and Orange County chopper stuff went crazy. It was like, I don't know. I had 1,800 motorcycle seat dealers. It was just crazy.
Wow. That is. Salty Badger wants to know, Do you build custom seat pans?
Yes, we do. Yep.
Yep. They would just have to bring you the bike.
Yeah, that's the easiest. If they're local, bring the bike in. We'll make the pan. This way it fits perfect the first time.
Now, Salty's not local. If someone's not local, they could just send you the measurements and then you could mock it up.
It depends on the bike. Usually what I say, if you're not local and it's a soft tail or a bagger or something like that, and you need a custom pan, we have videos online that could teach the local bike shop how to make the pan. Then they could send it to us and they could call us and we walk them through it too. We like to do fiberglass pans. I don't like the epoxy pans because they always shrink up like an elf shoe. So there's a lot of stuff we could help people to get through it and get a pan up.
Yeah, I was toying around making my own seat pan and then giving you the seat pan and saying, okay, this is what I'm looking for, get it done type of deal. But I'm thinking it'd be easier for me just to bring you the custom chopper when I'm ready.
Yeah, if you're local, it's so much easier. And then you can just blame me if there's a problem. You don't have to feel bad.
Yeah. Because I'm going for like the king queen seat with the buttons in it and, very old school chopper, but it's a 1997 frame, rigid frame.
Yep.
With a 180 back tire, believe it or not.
I just saw he has the FBI drop frame kit. That's a nightmare. That one's a pain in the ass.
The drop frame?
Yeah, if that's the one where they actually have the different side covers on it and stuff like that.
There's no side covers on it.
Okay, so then maybe it's a different one then. We did one that had the drop frame, and then it has the Street Glide side covers are totally different.
Yeah, no, this is a rigid frame. It's made by Atlas out in California.
Okay.
Back in the late 90s. And it's never been built before, so it's still a brand new frame.
Oh, nice.
But it's like new old stock.
Yeah, yeah. Oh, cool.
So let's see. Question from Roadie Riders out in Rhode Island. Does Eddie know of Wild Ride Customs in New Hampshire?
I don't think so. I might if I knew the owners' names, I probably know them by name, maybe.
Okay. So you know more people by their names than their business name.
Yeah, I know a lot of people, and I suck with names and stuff like that because there's, it's funny because like we'll have like 50 Street Glide seats we're doing, and like when you're doing that many of them, there all of a sudden there's like always 5 guys that have similar last names. The shops always sounded like Irish Shoppers. We had like 10 dealers that were called Irish Shoppers. So sometimes it's easier.
You got that one up in Boston that's Irish Choppers, and that's
Jersey. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Which is kind of weird. Did you ever do business with the Tuttles?
Yes.
Okay, because I know Alan Pastrana, who's a painter.
Yeah.
And he used to do business with them before they had what was his name? Nubby.
Yep.
And he told me personally the problems he had with the Tuttles, and
I remember that. Yeah, Alan was actually with Jamie, Chase, and the heck's the main guy's name that owned the shop. That's right, it's hit my tongue, but they were in New Britain, and began with a D, I think, Dwayne or whatever it was. But yeah, he was the guy who owned the shop, or the head of it, was a really hustler, and I guess he tried to hook them up with it, but Alan does really nice work. Jamie does really nice work. And you need to get paid for nice work. And they didn't want to pay. They want everything for free.
Yeah.
Well, back then they did for the TV show crap.
Okay. I've missed the comment. Someone's messaging me. If I seen it, I just told them to repost it. I'm sorry if I missed your comments. It's been kind of hard to keep up with the side chat and the conversation, guys. Please forgive me on that. But, I mean, I got a horror story of my roommate in Iraq who bought an Orange County chopper, ended up getting his money back and bought a West Coast chopper's bike for a lot less money and got more bike.
Well, we were dealing with him before the TV show, and the bikes were $17,000. And then a month later with the TV show, they were $70,000. And we unfortunately were dealing with Row Machine over in Wallingford with Chuck Went, and when they were doing the wheels and stuff like that. and
Yep.
going through him through them wasn't really a good vibe. So
Hmm.
and at the same time, Chuck was trying to do his own TV show. I think he was trying to kind of use Orange County's credibility to get his own thing launched. So it was a lot of weird thing, and I didn't feel comfortable with the whole thing, so I kind of backed away from both of those guys.
Yeah, I don't blame you. Good night, Jason goes. Good night, Tara. Have a good night. Thanks for coming in. Yeah. So enough of that.
Yeah.
You know, 'cause I just don't like doing that. I was just curious if you ever did. What about Indian Larry? Have you ever worked with Indian Larry at all?
No, I met Andy Larry, but he had Paul Cox. I think they've been together forever, and Paul does incredible leather work. He's a very talented guy. And I met Andy and Larry, and he was just a really good dude, just a nice
Yeah.
guy. I didn't really know him, but he was always a really good guy.
I've never met Indian Larry, and I wish I did, because he seems like a really good dude.
Yeah, he's just
You know,
totally normal guy, just a nice
yeah,
guy,
he's your average biker,
right? Yeah.
you know, and so yeah, that's awesome. You got everything going on. I'm waiting on Hells to repost it. I'm sorry I missed your post, Hells, and I've been looking for it, and I can't really see it. So if you could please repost it, and I apologize that I missed it. I'm not quite sure what happened to it. So if you please repost it, we'll get your question out there. Again, he's he's in West Virginia. He works for West Virginia Harley. He's on the general manager of sales there now, which is a good thing for him.
Yeah.
So
It's so funny when you think about us doing bike stuff on these computers now and how the business has changed so much in the last 30 years. I never, 30
yeah,
years ago, if you told me you're going to put fiberglass on a bagger, you would have laughed off no one would have believed you. And now all the bikes are fiberglass tanks, fiberglass bags. It's crazy how the business has changed.
I haven't seen a fiberglass fuel tank on a Harley yet.
Well, they do the overlays. All the stretch tanks that everybody does now, they're just an
Yeah, they're
overlay
the
that they
overlay.
stick on. And we
Yeah,
would have
they
never,
just
everything
bolt
we did was
on.
all metal.
Yeah, back then it was like you welded on the extension and you smoothed it and painted it.
Yep.
And now it's just so much easier. You buy the overlays, you take the dash off, you bolt it together, you put the bolts on the front, you put the dash back on. It's already pre-painted and done.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah. It's so different now.
I mean, a good friend of mine, Alan from Advan Black, is a big seller of all those injected molded parts and
Yep.
things like that come color matched.
Nice.
Alan's a good dude. I don't know if you ever met him.
I don't believe so.
Yep. And I've been doing a lot of work.
World.
Been doing a lot of business with Custom Dynamics lately. One with Mike's bikes and my bikes and everything like that. So some good contact and some good people I've met over my career in motorcycling and definitely my YouTube career.
Yeah.
Let's see. Yeah, the Advan Black tank covers. Actually, I hit it right on the head. But we're coming up on an hour. I usually like to keep the interviews for about an hour.
Yep.
So one last question is, where do you hope to see your business going within the next 3 to 5 years?
I don't really think about it, because when you think about where you want to be, God always teaches you a lesson. You ain't going there. Right now, with the labor crisis and the economy and the way things are, it's really hard to project. I don't like it's. I think I look back to like Roland Sands and made a comment, and he was saying how this is when the bike boom happened, and then next year everything slowed down, and he was like, "Oh, our margins are down like 30% from last year." Da, da, da. But if you go back to reality before the bike explosion, it was just a bike business. You did your thing. There was no multi-million dollar, all this other stuff. So I just kind of like to do what we do. I actually want to slow down a little bit and spend more time doing some artistic stuff like we used to do, because the production stuff takes you away from that and it becomes your business sometimes.
Yep. Mike says, Eddie, he'll be talking to you soon.
Yeah.
Hey, Toby, welcome to the show. I guess Hells isn't coming in on that retyping or copying pasting his question. maybe he went to bed. I don't know. But what about the technology of today? Has it made your job any easier with technology? Do you use any automation?
I want to. It's just that's kind of a topic of discussion because everything's like 250,000 for all these machines. Like we need the plastic injection molding machines. We need foam injection machines. There's so much stuff I want to get, but you need the people to run them and operate them. So every time we do a projection of how many seats can you make and how much can you produce and how many guys you need to do it, knowing that we have ads running constantly for help wanted and can't find anybody, it kind of puts like a damper on it. Like you're just like, I can't spend $500,000 on machines when you can't find someone to operate them.
Yeah. That seems to be the biggest problem for anybody and everybody out there.
It's horrible right now.
Trying to get people to come work for you.
It's impossible.
Ever since COVID, before COVID, everybody's like, there's no jobs to be had. I can't find a job. And now post COVID, there's plenty of jobs, and those people looking for work don't want to go to work anymore.
Yeah, it's weird. We were feeling it way before COVID, though. We went through a thing where, like in 2014, the skilled labor, the guys who work with their hands and they create and they have common sense, they were vanishing. COVID, I think, just wiped everybody out. And now we get guys who don't know how to use a ruler. They don't know lefty, loosey, righty, tighty. They don't know the difference between metric and standard soccer. I mean, so it's like, at what point, how far do you got to teach someone to just do their job? It gets crazy.
Yeah, I mean, well, because not everybody's going to like trade schools.
Yeah.
Everybody wants to get to college, to get out, graduate college and get that $500,000 a year job, which is, not going to happen.
Yeah.
Unless you have a name like Clinton or,
Well, the schools
Biden.
lie to these kids. We do a lot of work for school teachers that ride bikes, and I break their stones because I'm just like, you're telling these kids that have no experience, they're going to get out of school and make $100,000 a year. So now they expect that. They come out to us, and you're like, these kids can't even open the door without getting hurt. It's like crazy.
Yeah. Yeah, I work at a college full time. I see it.
Sorry for that.
Yeah. Toby Northern's got a good question. He's looking for a color match seat for his new 2023 Fast Johnny ST.
Okay, so you could send us pictures and we try to match it. I always tell people, if you can't match it exact, do it a few shades off and look intentional, because it's very hard to make colors match right. And if you don't do it, it looks like crap. Yeah, yep. Craftsmanship is a dying breed.
Yeah. Common sense is definitely gone.
Yeah.
Oh,
everybody's
awesome.
angry. Everybody's angry after COVID.
Cal Fire says their 17-year-old daughter wants to go to MMI, which is a good school.
Yeah.
It really gets you started with, getting into motorcycle mechanics, and teaches you, everything you need to know to be a mechanic. Not the experience, which comes with time, but it gives
just
you the
comfortable in a shop, knowing the tools and being around it really helps people when they go to a real shop. They'll learn more in the first week of a real shop, but you still feel comfortable. And that's a really big thing the schools do.
Yep. And Fact Life says a tradesmen or tradeswomen are getting real scarce. And that is the truth.
The whole country.
Yep.
Although Tennessee has an abundance of really hardworking people. It's weird. Yeah. I think Texas is all right too, but everywhere else we're screwed.
Yeah. I mean, and on my campus, there's a lot of people still doing the work from home thing.
Yep.
And they're being allowed to, which I'm like, there's no reason to. You're not saving any money because you still got to heat and cool that place with people that are in the office.
Yeah. I think the problem is employees are able to control too much of the outcome now, and people are too afraid to lose them. And I think maybe at some point you just got to say, go find another job, come back to work or get another job.
Yeah, that is the biggest challenge that I'm not looking forward to. Neither is Mike. That when we get our shop going up off the ground, we start to look for, skilled help in the shop or as a service writer, that's going to be the hard part.
Yeah, it's impossible. I have ads running every week for years, huge dollar amounts, and no responses. And the few people that we do get responses, there's zero knowledge, like they've never done it before. And now we've been taking like not classes, but researching stuff online there where they teach you how you have to hire new employees. It is so ridiculous. You have to be like, yeah, yeah, you do.
I'm not afraid to admit it.
Yeah.
I earned my patch, YouTube certified
Nice.
auto
That's
mechanic,
awesome.
master auto mechanic.
That's awesome.
It's a joke. I bought them. I bought 3 others and I sent them out to other YouTubers. Professional Monkey being one of them, Tweedledee being another one, and of course Gliding on Twos. I sent one to him, who just recently graduated from MMI, and that was the funniest thing, is because he's got his certification from Harley Davidson from MMI.
Nice. It seems like that's the only school really that everybody goes to, right?
That is basically the only school to go to learn motorcycle mechanics. There used to be a place in Connecticut, but they went out of business because they just couldn't get the numbers in.
Yeah, the tech schools or trade schools are going through that again now. They're not getting the numbers. Although one of our vendors just said that Lincoln Tech actually just got a lot of people enrolling in some auto classes, which is good.
Yeah, which is good because a good auto technician or good technician is hard to find. But again, when you walk out of school, you walk out with the basic knowledge to start at an entry-level position, and the experience and the advanced learning you'll get from whoever you work for. For instance, like the Harley Davidson Master Technicians, the only way you get that is if you work for a dealership and they send you to the Harley Davidson University to become a Master Technician.
Which is probably nice to get that under your belt.
Yeah.
Although it's funny because I was at the Harley dealer and I was asking them if they were having trouble getting help. They said they have no trouble getting help. They actually don't have the work. None of the Harley dealers have work right now, which is scary.
Well, because a lot of guys are doing it themselves.
Yeah.
The only time my bike goes to the Harley dealer if it's a warranty issue, and sometimes if it's a recall. But some of the warranty stuff, I have such a good relationship with them. Hey, it's only this. Can we do a 1-for-1 swap? Because I want to drop the bike off on this day. You're not going to get to it. If I drop it off to you on Thursday, you're not going to get to it till Wednesday of next week. And then I'm not going to get it back to that following weekend. So I would have missed out on a whole week plus of riding. And it's only, a bolt on, bolt off. Just do a 1-for-1 swap. You can put it in the books. You did it. I don't care. And you'll get paid from Harley.
Now, which Harley dealers you deal with? Yankee, right?
Yes.
So I don't know any of the new guys up there. I used to deal with Alex up there a lot, but I haven't been up there in so long. I have to run up there and check out see who's there.
Yep. Actually, Yankee and Cape Cod Harley and the Heyman Law Firm are sponsors of my channel.
Nice.
Yep.
Heyman's been a supporter of motorcycles for a long time.
Yes. Yeah. And I've known John a very long time. And when I approached him last year, I was talking to him about, becoming a channel sponsor. And he said, yeah, we'll give it a shot for a year. So hopefully he'll want to renew this year.
Nice.
And I'm hoping Cape Cod and Yankee will want to renew this year. But we'll have to see how things go,
I wanted to go out to Cape Cod. We were out there, and I wanted to stop by the dealer and check it out because I hear a lot of good things about them out there.
Yeah, well, Mike Keenan, who's one of the partners at Yankee, is one of the partners at Cape Cod Harley.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yep, and Mike's a great dude. I'm sure you know Mike Keenan. He worked for years down at Brothers Harley Davidson, and then he became, gotten with a couple other guys, become partners of and bought out Yankee, and then Mike bought into the partnership of Cape Cod.
Oh, wow. It's a big time. Good for him.
Yeah, and he's a great dude. He really is. I have a lot of love and respect for him,
There's a lot of good guys in this business.
Well, they are until you start asking. When I came up with this idea of doing this chopper build, because I said, I got this platform and I have a skill. How can I give back to my community? And I came up with an idea. It says, hey, And I've been a supporter of Homes for the Brave, being a disabled vet myself. I says, let me talk to them because they're not federally funded or government funded at all. They work off of donations and, renting out the space. And some of the rents they get are from the VA or from state programs and things like that. And I said, well, let me talk to them. And we partnered up and they gave me all the paperwork. So if somebody donated something to this build, they could write it off on their taxes. So let's say it cost you $100 to build a seat and the retail on that seat $700. You could write off all $700.
Yeah, we do a lot of donating like that for people too.
And believe it or not, the roller chassis I got through donations through my subscribers, and Moto Noggin had the roller that he bought to build a chopper, and he was in over his head on that one. And we made a deal that, I'll give you the 400, you give me the rolling chassis. And that was the deal that happened. My shop donated the Springer front end and the coffin style tank. Lowbrow Customs came in and made some donations. Deadbeat Customs came in and made some donations. But a lot of other companies, I get crickets from. And a lot of companies, I guess, don't want to do it. And, I put a call into S&S Cycles about donating an Evo motor. I need an Evo motor. I don't care if it's an 80-inch or 100 cubic inch. I'd like a 100 cubic inch, but it's a
need a new motor.
What's that?
You need a new motor or used one work?
As long as it runs.
I might have one here.
Ooh.
I'll have to check and see what's going on.
Because that's what's holding me up is a motor, a trans, and a primary, hand and foot controls, and the front brake.
We got all that. We got a whole bike that's been here way too long.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, I got the paperwork. If you want to donate it, you could write off the value of it, and I could use that.
I'll check with my buddy. He's actually coming to work here. I'm gonna check with him and see, because I've stored a thing here for a year.
Okay.
I'm trying to be a nice guy, but
well, yeah, that's unfortunate. You're storing it for a year. Because if I could get, this bike built, my powder coater who I use right here in Derby is phenomenal. It's JRD Restorations. He's going to powder coat the frame, the fenders, the tank. He's going to anything I want color. He's going to powder coat for me, and he's going to donate it. I'm going to give him the paperwork, and he's going to write it off on his taxes. He says he's going to take care of me on that, which is great. And I picked a color. It's a Bugatti metallic blue.
Nice.
Yeah. So I'm looking at this bike when it's done. I'm envisioning this bike being anywhere between a $50,000 and $60,000 bike. And they're going to sell raffle tickets since they are a non-for-profit organization. They could get the raffle permits and all that. They could raffle off the bike at $100 a ticket for however many tickets they want to do. So here's a chance you could win a custom-built chopper for $100.
Nice.
And I'm hoping they'll make $20,000, $30,000 in raffle ticket sales that they could put into helping other veterans get off the street and get them into a job and everything like that.
That's important. Really important.
Yeah. I've actually had the CEO on my channel on a live on a Wednesday night, which was awesome.
Yeah, that's really cool.
Yeah. All right. Good night, Jake. Have a good one, buddy. So, yeah, I mean, if you want to check with him and let me know, that'd be amazing.
Yeah, definitely. I heard you say something, and then I was thinking about it, and then I was like, I got to get a hold of him and just see, because a guy who dropped it off never has any money to do anything, and it's been here for quite some time. It's an anniversary edition. Bike's actually a nice bike.
It's an 03?
Yeah.
I think the 03s weren't Evos. They were twin cams.
Oh, I thought it was a year after.
I couldn't
I'll have to check and see.
Yeah, but I could always modify the frame to accept the twin cam, I think. Let's see.
Yeah, I'll shoot you a picture of the bike and stuff tomorrow.
Let's see. They started in '84. I used to know this off the top of my head.
Yeah, I thought it was an 03. Yeah, that's the anniversary, right?
Yep. 03 was the 100th anniversary.
Yeah.
But I was hoping, S&S would step up and say, it's the end of the year. Yeah, we need a good write-off. This would be a perfect write-off. We got the motor sitting here doing nothing. I've met with Ted from V-Twin Manufacturing and Ted Cycles, right in Newburgh, New York. And he never said no, but he kept changing the subject. So I took that as a no.
Yeah, I feel bad because these guys probably get like offers from a million people. Because we get people all the time, and most of them, it's like some young guy in their garage that you never met that is not going to promote it or do anything for the right. So I'm sure they get that.
Yeah. Well, I saw Paul Jr. last summer, Paul Tuttle Jr. at his place in Southern Jersey on the shore. Yep. And, I talked to him about it. He goes, I get it all the time. People looking for free stuff. And I tell everybody no. As much as I'd love to help you out, I have to tell you no, because if I say yes to you, then everybody else it's going to just get even worse for me. And I get it.
Yeah. Sometimes at some point it's a cop out too.
Yeah. But, everybody looks at him for free stuff.
I heard he was a really good dude. A couple of people I know said he's a really good guy.
Oh, he is. I prefer talking and hanging out with him than his dad.
Yeah.
I'm if I see his dad someplace, I won't go out of my way to say hello.
Yeah, I don't know them that well. Every time I talked to any of them, they were always really nice, but it was at a show and just something stupid,
Yep. Well, one day when we're not on here, I'll tell you the story I know about Paul Sr. that I've experienced. So it's not hearsay, and you probably wouldn't be surprised.
I got some stories that was not made for TV.
Yeah.
So a lot of years in this business.
Yep. Oh, yeah. I mean, I've been riding motorcycles since 1986. I used to work for Bridgeport Kawasaki when I was old enough to work. And then I worked for Bill's Harley in Bridgeport before they became Bridgeport Harley.
Wow.
I don't know if you remember Bill's Harley.
No.
In Bridgeport. Yep. That's when, you walk into a Harley dealership, they had maybe a half a dozen T-shirts total in stock.
It wasn't about merch, yeah.
6 to 8 motorcycles on the floor. And if you wanted one, you had to order it.
Yeah.
Or you got stuck with what was on the floor.
Who owned Bridgeport? I think I went to school with the kid's father who owned that.
Fritz was the last name. They used to own Stanford Harley, and they bought out, when Bill was retiring, they bought the rights to Bridgeport, to Bill's Harley.
And did he put it right to the end?
Yeah. Fritz has owned it right to the end.
There was a kid, Josh something or other. There was no other Harley dealers down there, right? Bridgeport was the only one, and that was those two. That was it, right?
Well, you had Brothers in New Haven, Bridgeport Harley, which was Stratford, and then Stanford Harley along the eastern shore of Connecticut.
I wonder which one they own. I know the family owned it.
Probably thinking Brothers.
And no, it wasn't a Brothers. I had one of the original brothers of Brothers here right before COVID. He came in. We were doing work for one of his bike seats and stuff like that. I'm trying to remember this kid's name because if I knew his last name, it'd probably make sense.
Toby's funny. Not made for TV is not equal. Not made for YouTube.
Yeah, they want to hear the stories. That would definitely ruin my career.
Yeah, me too. I wouldn't. Location is a big factor for some trade skills, for sure. Well, where we are in Connecticut, there's a lot of trade schools around here. I mean, Connecticut's got their high schools, which are trade high schools, where you go literally, you're working in a shop half the year, then you're in the classrooms half the year. I'm a technical high school graduate.
They shut down the shop programs around here at the schools. It's ridiculous.
Really?
Like Vinyl Tech got rid of, I guess they got rid of auto body and automotive, someone said, which is
Oh, no
crazy.
kidding.
Yeah, like
Yeah,
how do
well,
you learn
Fort
how to work
Hayden
on cars?
got rid of auto body, which was for an adult ed class.
Okay.
Um, my wife works for the state technical high school, which is actually pretty cool because it's adult ed, but it's an aviation maintenance school.
Oh, wow.
So when you graduate from that school, you have all the credentials you need to go get your airframe and power plant license.
Wow. Where are they out of?
They're at the Bridgeport Airport in Stratford.
Wow.
It's one of the uh, best kept secrets in Connecticut. A lot of people don't know there's an aviation. There's two actually. One at Brainerd Airport by Hartford, and down at Bridgeport Airport of an aviation maintenance school.
I wonder how they're doing with getting technicians and stuff.
Um, they're having a hard time, with small student classes and things like that. They're having a hard time getting teachers, believe it or not.
Yeah, I believe it. We just had a guy in from Sikorsky, and he says they're having a lot of issues because they're doing the same thing. The people that they're getting in, they're hiring from Walmart, and they're working
Well,
on some pretty serious
my
equipment.
story of Sikorsky is when I left active duty, and I had my A and pig license back then, airframe and power plant, and I was an Apache crew chief and mechanic for the active Army.
Nice.
And I walked in, I says, you know what? This was right when they're doing the Comanche project, which was Sikorsky's attack helicopter program. And I went for the job interview in Stratford. I got offered the job, but I would have to relocate down to Florida to the plant in Florida because that's where the Comanche was being built. And I was going to work the flight line. And they says, yeah, you move yourself down there, you set yourself back up, and we'll pay you $8 an hour. I said, for $8 an hour, I'll go sling mufflers at a mining camp.
I know, right? Do you know who else has a really nice chopper? That Command up in Bloomfield. I was up at Rob from Speed Demon Cycle Shop before he moved, and they had one sitting there hovering, and it was amazing because it was probably about 30 feet off the ground. I didn't even know it was there. And then the blades turn, and once that pitch hit, man, they were just like chunk, 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 chunk. It was crazy.
Now, PA wants to know, he used to live in New London area.
Yes.
I'm sure you've worked with Mike's famous Harley Davidson.
I worked a lot before it was Mike's. I used to know the owner of Groton Harley, whatever it was, and he was awesome, bike guy. Actually, it was funny because he used to deliver his bikes to me, and I'd do the seats on them, and we'd sit there and just shoot the shit. Just awesome dude. Love motorcycles. Never knew he was the owner of the company for years. And then he sold out to Mike's, and they got rid of Roland, all the guys I knew. And it was kind of weird in the beginning because it was more like car salesmen down there versus like bikers. So it's like kind of a different vibe. So I never got to know people down there. So, and we were so busy, I didn't have a chance to go down there and talk to them and stuff.
Well, I've been to the Mike's Famous in New London, and when at the time he had one in Newcastle, Delaware. He actually owned both of them.
Oh, he doesn't have the one in Delaware anymore?
No, he sold that back in, I think, 2015.
Oh, wow. It looks like a really great dealer down there.
Yeah. The one in New London now is out of an old Coca-Cola factory. So it's kind of cool.
Actually, you know what? I did. Yeah, I forgot that was them too. Because I keep thinking they were supposed to move to Old Lyme by Budweiser. And then I forget that they actually never, I guess that never happened. They went to the New London one or whatever. And I did go down there because I was breaking the guy's balls because I asked him if he sells any black street glides or road glides.
Yeah.
And they said, oh, only 100 a week. They were good guys. Their parts and service guys were cool dudes down there.
Yeah. Yeah. And, my wife did her first motorcycle safety course at Mike's Famous, and I just got home from a deployment, and the Army says I couldn't ride until I did that. So, being active military at the time, it was free for me. So my wife and I went.
Nice. Who was your instructor? Wasn't Ted, was it? An older guy, like is 80 or almost looked like he was like 80 or something?
No, we didn't have, we had like 2 or 3 younger guys.
Oh, okay. So Ted was doing summers around there. He was awesome. He's like he knows everything about riding a bike. He's really good dude.
Yeah, that's like in 2013 we did that. It was kind of funny because I didn't say a word about my riding experience or anything like that. And I was a club guy. And all right, good night, Mike. And so we come up to riding day, and I'm just riding. And then it was like, how long you been riding? And then the second ride day, which was the last day of the class, we went up on the street glide and we pulled in. He's looking like, oh, that's a nice bike. I said, thank you. And of course, it had the stretch bags, the stretch fenders, which you saw when it was Mike's.
Yeah, nice.
You know,
that's why it's funny because I talked to the guys who do the classes, and some of the stories they have. They had this one guy, he did a front brake and he did like an endo, and they said he went way past that balance point, and they're just watching him. And by the grace of God, he came back and landed on his feet. But they said there's crashes every day.
Oh yeah, there was one girl in the class that she crashed on every single exercise, and they still passed her.
Really?
Yes.
That's scary. That's scary.
Yes. And I'm sitting there going, this girl's going to kill herself.
Yeah, we get that all the time. I had a guy, he actually was at Yankee. Alan painted his bike. I think it was the same bike. I'm pretty sure Alan painted the bike. It might have been his buddy. But anyways, the story was the bike went to Yankee. Then it went to us for the seat. I think it was that bike because he had spent like $80,000 on the bike. And I finished the seat. I look outside and leave him. Hour later, I look out and he's still sitting on the bike looking around. So I'm like, is everything all right, man? He goes, yeah. He goes, you know how to start one of these things? I'm like, what do you mean start one of these things? He goes, I've never ridden a bike. You spent $80,000 on a street glide and you've never ridden a bike. So I'm like, nope. I go, this is the clutch. This is how you shift. This is the brake. So he rode around my shop in East Haddam probably for 3 hours and then just took off. And his neighbor, we did a bike for. And I asked him, I go, is that guy all right? Because I never heard from him again. He goes, yeah. He goes, he got scared on his way back home, parked the bike and never took it out of the garage. I was like, holy shit. You know, it's crazy.
So what I'd like to do, if it's okay with you, because this is, you know, all about you and your shop, and, you know, covered all my questions, and hopefully everybody got a good idea of what Atomic Cycles is all about. And hopefully, you know, you'll get some business out of this. Hopefully. I know I'll be coming to you with the chopper when I'm ready for a seat, and God knows when that's going to be. I was hoping to have it in powder coat by now, but I can't without the motor, the trans, because once I get the motor trans mocked up, I know where I want to put the battery, but I can't mock that up until the trans is in.
You need all that in there.
Yeah, I'm at the point without any of that stuff, I can't go any further with the build. There's little things I could do, like I want to cut the fender, I want to cut up the tank, and, you know, make the tank really fit, but I really don't want to do that to the motor transfer.
Yeah, definitely.
You know, so I'm at that work stoppage point, and I got parts laying in my garage, you know, safely waiting on this stuff. And once I get that stuff, I'll be going hot and heavy. I'm going to make my own wiring harnesses and everything. And depending on how I get it registered will be, do I put turn signals on it or not? It's amazing when you build a bike, how much stuff it actually is. It's all the little stuff.
Oh, people have no idea. They think it's just a bike. They don't realize what's involved.
Yeah. I mean, you know, bunny here, handlebars. I need forward controls. I need hand controls, the button controls, you know, cables, throttle cables, clutch cables. I got a headlight. I'm going to need a tail light. I know there's a tail light I want. Hopefully I can get it. I'm going to need a license plate bracket. I'm going to need, you know, just so much, an ignition system, spark plug wires, just to, you know, off the top of my head of what I need. I need to fabricate some brackets for the headlights because I got two 4.5-inch round yellow headlights that I'm going to put staggered on the front end. Also need a shock for the front, for the Springer, because there's no shock on it. And I'm a firm believer the Springer should have that shock to avoid, to dampen some,
get rid of the wheel hop,
isolation. Hey, Dean, no problem. You know, thank you very much for Tri-Glide seats. So there's just so much to building a custom chopper that I figured I had all this documentation that I could give a company. I got their non-for-profit paperwork. I got their EIN. I got a 1099 I could give you, and companies like, yeah, no.
Yeah,
Or
we get
I
it
got
all the
correct,
time too.
you know,
When we do,
or I
when
got
we do
correct.
TV show stuff, it's amazing the logistics that's involved in it. Everything's planned a year ahead, and you have to sign everything. You have to have proof of like where it's going, when it's going. It's sometimes
Then
not even
there's
worth the effort.
non-disclosures and all that.
Yeah, yeah. Everybody has their things, and then sometimes what sucks is you're in bed with these people, and then they're like asking you, where's this now? Where's the bike now? What you're doing with it? Why didn't we get enough pictures? It's crazy.
I said, so Jamin, who wants to know, he's part of the unaffiliated channel, and he's got his own channel. And he's a good dude. He's got I think it's a Fat Boy that he has now. So it says, does your dude do a tuck and roll on she, whatever she is,
Hmm. We do
or
tuck and
seat?
roll all the
I'm sorry,
time. We do old
tuck and
school,
roll on
real
a
tuck and
seat.
roll. We do the new top stitch tuck and roll. Sometimes we fall off the
Toby,
bike and tuck and roll.
Toby, I thought ahead. I linked everything down in the description. I know you came in late. Um, all his links to YouTube, Instagram, all that is down, and the website is down in the description. So please feel free, um, you know, to check it out and reach out if you need something. So yeah, I mean, I thought I would have parts, getting delivered to me hand over fist because of this paperwork. And hey, look, it's a legit charity build. Here's everything I have for the charity build. I've partnered up with them. You're going to get the advertising on my YouTube channel. You're going to get the advertising at the date of the drawing, which will be at a major event that they have every year. And, you'll be mentioned. If you send me a banner, the banner will be up that day. They'll be up in my garage. They're in a lot of my videos, like Deadbeat Customs sent, I'm sorry, Lowbrow Customs sent me a banner that's hanging up in the garage. It's in a lot of my videos. So it's amazing how, and I even say, hey, look, don't forget Lowbrow Customs, you know, donor for the chopper build. That a lot of companies don't
Do you
jump on.
ever do you ever work with DNA at all?
No.
So they've been around forever. We used to use them for Loretta rims 30 years ago. Very good prices and stuff like that. I don't really know them, but I know that they're pushing a lot for marketing. They have a lot of the stuff that you need. Might be worth reaching out to them because they're pushing really hard for marketing, and that might be a good joint venture to get their name out there and see if they have stuff that you need.
Yeah, I mean, we'll see. I mean, I have wheels that came on the roller. I
Yep.
like them. I'm going to use them. Um, but as far as anything else, maybe they could help out with.
Yeah, they have a lot of products. They were known for wheels, but they do a lot of other stuff too.
Yeah, I'm going to reach out to TC Brothers because they have a lot of products I like that I could use. And I sent them an email once and I never heard back. And it's been a while, so now I'm going to reach out with a phone call.
Yeah, you have to be persistent with everybody. If they're like us, shorthanded, everything like we get like 250 calls and emails every day, and it's only a few of us. So trying to call people back, like our girl in the office has been out sick, so I come in, pick up the phone, 40 messages. So by the time you call someone back, you click it again, 40 more messages. So it's just
Yeah.
if they're going through the same stuff, I kind of feel what they're going through.
Yeah, it's just like when I emailing you back and forth, I'd sit there going, he's probably busy. I probably won't read an email till tomorrow or tomorrow night. And I'm good with that.
Yeah,
That's why I didn't want to do it last week.
yeah,
And I pushed it off a week. So one, I could prepare and you could prepare, and then everything wouldn't be rushed because starting on Sunday night, I started promoting tonight's live.
nice,
And, I really hit heavy with promoting tonight's live this, late in the morning, getting it all over Facebook and Instagram.
cool.
I
Appreciate
did a
that.
YouTube short on it today, you know, to remind everybody, hey, you're coming on. But what I'd like to do is open this up, put the link in the side chat. If anybody wants to come on and ask you some direct questions, not chit chat, but any direct questions, are you up for that? Do you have the time for that?
Yeah, that sounds good. Yep.
Okay.
I only got to be back here in 6 hours.
Okay. So let's respect his time because he's, like I said, he's going to be back there in 6 hours. So, guys, here's the link in the side chat. If you have any questions, for Eddie that you didn't type in or that I missed, here's your chance to come in, ask your questions, and get the answer right from the horse's mouth. So we'd love to hear from you. Come on, and it's 26 watching. I'm sure there's at least 2 to 3 of you that sit there and says, "Oh yeah, what about this?" or "Oh, what about that?" Feel free to jump on in. Oh, yeah.
How do
So
you do these so late all the time? Are you wake up late or you get up early?
I'm out of bed at 6 in the morning. Like I'd be at work at 8. So I work 8 to 4:30 Monday through Friday. But fortunately, I'm an IT guy, so it's not that physically demanding.
Oh, okay, cool.
The only time I really run out,
them.
yeah, the only time I really have to run out if the faculty is having a problem with the technology in the classroom, or it's a hardware issue. But other than that, I just remote into the machine and fix it there. I don't have to leave my desk. That's the beauty part of technology. When I first started that job 22 years ago, we used to walk around with a big binder with CDs. And, we were running 8 hours a day fixing desktops and laptops. And now it's to the point where I'm sitting there fixing stuff remotely, which is beautiful.
It's funny because my son had a job and part of it was they had to go around to every branch of the bank and turn on everybody's computer and do an update on it. So they're going to all these locations, all these computers doing it. And he goes, "This is stupid. I could write a program that just does it automatically for everyone." So
Yeah.
he wrote a program, and then now you don't have to do any of that crap, which is pretty cool.
Yeah, just sit there and run it overnight. It turns the computer on, runs the update, and you run a script to shut it down when it's over.
Nice.
We
what
do
college
that.
You working at?
Fairfield University.
Okay.
Yeah, which is a really good school. All right, we're going to give it about 3 more minutes. See if anybody jumps on. Is there anything you want to say at this point? I'll give you the whole show, the whole screen, everything like that.
No, I'm good. I think we said enough. I'm like sleepy and tired and old.
Come on, you're not that old. I'm 53.
No, I'm only 50, but I feel like 80.
Yeah, there's those days I feel that old too. Now,
it sucks with the business now because you used to have young guys that would do like lifting heavy stuff, moving stuff around, changing tires, washing cars. Now Rick and I are the young guys and the old guys doing everything. So at the end of the day, you get pretty tired.
Oh, I bet. I mean, do you go to any rallies or anything to promote your shop at all?
No, I stopped that probably 20 years ago. Like Daytona used to be like a week of niceness for me. Everybody's down there. I'll hear stories when they get back because it used to be, it's not like that anymore, but you would go to you'd have Daytona Beach, you have Myrtle Beach, you have all these certain shows, Sturgis. It was religious. And the 2 weeks before that, every builder was trying to get bikes done. So we had to get like 40 or 50 bikes done, and it's just chaos. So whenever the event happened, I'm like, have fun in South Dakota. But now it's kind of weird because there's not that big rush to go to Myrtle Beach or any of that stuff. No big rush to go to Daytona. There's still guys who do it, obviously, but it's just not what it was.
Yeah. Mike and I, we went last year together. We're going again this year together. I told him once we open the shop, it'll probably be a long time before I take a week off to go to Daytona or go to any rallies because, it's just going to be me, myself, and I doing everything. And there, the service rider. Yeah. When it's you on the line, it's you on the line and you got to do everything.
Yeah. Well, it's funny because everybody used to say, why don't you go to like Sturgis or Laconia and just like do bike seats when you're there? Because there's guys who do that. I'm like, I work all day anyways, but if I go to there, I'm going to have a few beers and have fun. I'm not going to sit there and do work. It's what I can make the same thing I'd make here. So it's crazy.
Well, not just that, the rental of the space is just insane.
Yeah, bike shows are always. It's amazing. You do a 10x10 at a bike show for $5,000. You do a car show and it's like 500. It's like crazy.
Yeah, it's like the promoters want to make their money with selling the vendor space.
Yeah,
and don't really care about the rally experience anymore.
I have zero love for any of the promoters anymore. Back in the day, they would hustle, they'd advertise, they'd market. You'd hear them on the radio. You go to events and they'd be cross promoting and all that stuff. Now they do. They want us to go there, us to put out the word, us to pay the money. And then you get there and like most of the shows, well, shows around here are kind of a joke. Some of the stuff with the younger guys doing the vintage bikes is cool. But like if you want a V-twin show with like custom bikes, there's nothing.
Yeah, it's really tough. It really is. I've gone to a couple of bike shows here in Connecticut and Massachusetts, and I was in a couple organizations where we used to set up a booth. My shop set up a booth there, and and I had a nice 10x40 spot. It was an indoor event, and they put me in the back.
Yeah. Yeah, it's tough when they do
And
that.
he's like, oh, I didn't see you promote this at all. I says, I didn't know I was your event promoter.
Yeah.
I paid for the spot. I shouldn't have to promote it.
Yeah, what used to piss me off the most is I would always sign up early and pay for the spots. And then at the end, they get desperate and they start calling everybody up and giving them free spots. And so like we would do it and pay them all the time and do it right. And then I remember one of my shops we deal with, the Bass Brothers over in Wallingford, they had called up because they had they gave them a 65-foot spot for free and they needed to fill stuff up. And I'm like, well, I already paid for a spot. It's like, it pisses you off a little bit.
Hey, Big James, how you doing? Welcome to the show. You're coming into the tail end of this. But thanks for coming in. Usually I forget. Big James, welcome. And thank you for tuning in. All right. We're at an hour 42 minutes tonight. It goes by fast.
Yeah.
I'm going to say thank you for your time. Unless there's anything else you want to discuss about your business or seats or anything, I look forward to doing some future business with you.
Me too.
And get things going for my CVO, for my lowrider, and for the chopper build. So there's 3.
Nice. Yeah.
Like I said, I'm not completely familiar with your bike, with your work. I've seen it, and I've done test rides, which are literally no more than maybe 7 to 10 miles at a ride. And that's really not a time to, test out a seat.
Yeah.
But
our touring, like Mike's seat isn't our touring seat. That's actually more of a slam seat. You look better because he's taller, so you don't feel like Big Bird on the bike.
Yep.
But the touring seats are actually really nice too.
Yep. And, you can highly recommend it from Mike. And that to me carries a ton of weight. It, goes a long way with me because I respect Mike. I respect his opinion. So, there you go. Salty Bagger says, I have to figure out the logistics, but I'm interested for my wife's bike. Awesome.
Nice.
Salty builds a lot of custom choppers. I enjoy his channel. If you get a chance, check it out. He does a lot of cool choppers, literally cool choppers. He set me apart for the Springer front end that converts where the risers mount to regular handlebars, so I could put the bunny ear bars on it, and I appreciate that. He's a good dude. Thank you, Jamin. He says a lot of good information. Awesome. So I'm going to say goodnight to you, and I'm going to say goodnight to everybody in the side chat. Thank you for tuning in tonight. I've had a lot of fun. Hopefully everybody did too. I also got a lot of good information. I learned a lot about seats. Hopefully you did too. Until the next one, everybody, you live the best life you can. Ride often and ride hard.